What's up, guys? We're gonna BroBeats, and today I'm gonna be showing you how to make emotional piano melodies slash a beat, because we'll be making a beat. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna show you how easy this is. So I'm gonna make it as easy as possible. We're only going to make one melody, okay? Because this is all you need. If some of you are having trouble coming up with melodies for like this emotional piano or like, I guess, pain melodies, I got you. So we're gonna be using these easy keys, okay? I'm just using the blues piano on the easy keys. Okay, you can use any piano, it does not matter. You can just add a little reverb to it. Actually, let's grab in a scale. I'm gonna use, what is the E minor? Okay, oops. So we're gonna be using the E minor. Let's go in here. So to make these pain melodies, there's plenty of ways you can go about it, but I think the best and easiest way, so you don't have to use as much, you want at least 5 notes in each chord if you can, or at least a 7th. So it's just do your little 7th chords like this. Now obviously we're gonna put this on E. Let's probably go down a little bit, and then let's adjust this. Now a little trick is you could take the first 3 notes and pull them up an octave, and you know, you can kind of play around with some of this. I'm gonna adjust this a little bit though. So what I would do to adjust this is you could pull this note up. So the notes that are really close, you can pull them apart. Okay, and I know this is really loud, like it's a lot of notes going at the same time, but oops. Okay, but this will kind of be your melody, right? But we'll just delete a note and we'll keep this. And then we're just gonna go ahead and I want to make sure all these are the same. And then let's just do like a rhythm like this. And then all we need to do is copy it again, and we can just pull this down. And I'm gonna give you guys a good, like an easy pattern. So we would go from here to back to here, and that will be kind of our melody. And then we would just add like notes in between. Okay. So this is gonna be like our little main chord progression. So obviously we need to now edit this part because it doesn't match. Okay, so there's plenty of things you do. You could just delete notes if you want to. You could do something like this, right? And then you can do the method where you do the, you know, you skip a note and go down, up. You can see how easy this is, and I'm gonna turn these down a bit. Let's adjust it. I don't think we need this. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. So I think that's good for our chord progression. So what we're gonna do now is add a top melody. So for this, you could just take the E, pull it up, and start there. So we could do something like, I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. And then we could just kind of follow the scale, since we have a scale now. And then how did I get to this note? There's plenty of ways you can go about this, but since we got this little melody here, you could take this note and you can make a chord from it. So you make a chord by skipping every other note within the scale. Okay, and then if you see the B, D, and the F sharp, those make a minor chord. So you can kind of use that as your melody, right? So we could pull this over. And since we're focusing on the melody, I am going slow on purpose, just because this is all we're gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything more than this. So you can make a little flam. Okay, and let's play around with this. And then we're gonna do like a little slow, I don't know, maybe like, I want to try to keep all this in frame. Let's do like a shift D, with a little, oops, little flam, and let's just go back and forth like so. And then you would play with the velocity. I'm not gonna do too much, but typically you want, as when the melody gets lower, you would lower the velocity, right? So These I will put a little bit higher. Okay, if you can see the velocity down here. And then I would just kind of play around with it a little bit. Do the flams like this. Something like that. Not perfect, but something like that. I'm not gonna mess with the velocity too much. I'm just kind of leave this as is. We'll copy this over and just make some slight variation. I don't want this video to be too long because I want this to be an easy guide. What we could do on this part for this, just to change it up a bit, is we could just, I mean, you could literally just go up, pull this up a little bit, and then let's turn this into a flam. Just like that, and then we'll adjust the chords a little bit. I mean, we could do, let's pull this down. How does this sound? Slightly different, nothing crazy. Let's pull this up an octave, and then, because basically what we're gonna do is just copy what we did over here, but we're gonna add something to it. So let's take this flam, and maybe we can go, I don't know if this will sound good. Nah, I don't like that. Maybe like, no. I like that better. So I'm gonna stick with this, and we'll do a double up right here. And then I'm thinking we pull that down and then pull these down. So we can keep the same like velocity, as you can see, okay? And this is why it's important to mess with the velocity so it's not such a crazy transition. Okay, I think that's great for the melody that we want. So I'll play it one time through. And also what you could do here is play around with the bass notes. All right, so you can do two like this. So that is our piano melody. We spent a lot of time on it, but I wanted the majority of this video to be the melody, so everyone can follow along. So all we're gonna do now is just layer and then throw on our drum. So let's go ahead and do that. Now for our melody, we're gonna go ahead and copy this to our little synth here. So I just picked this sound, this ghostly sound. And then what I'm gonna do is adjust this real quick. And I'm gonna do this individually. Just to make it, we want texture, because a lot of times with these like pain melodies, you need your melody to sit on top of something, because a lot of times these are going to be very, very clean, and there will be a lot of vocals. So you want just it to sit on top of something. We might add like a little preset to it, but for now, that's what we're going to use. And also, just to clean this up, we're going to, real quick, we're just going to take this, because we don't need all this bass line. We're just going to pull it down one octave. And we'll do the same over here. Okay, so this is the new melody. And now we have our second piano up here. If it'll load, there we go. So we're just gonna add a little something in here. Just if we want to throw it in there. You don't need to do this, but I just want to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. So let's try that. I'm gonna turn the velocity on this one down. just to add a little flair. Okay, so we can keep that in there. So our melody's done. That's all we're gonna do for the melody, and the drums are gonna be super easy. So we'll just knock out the drums real quick. And I'll actually load up a preset so we can put on our synth as well. Now we're gonna be finishing up our beat. So the drums will be easy, but I just load up a little Portal preset that I had. So here it is. It's the Iceman. I don't even know what bank this is from. It's from the Bermuda. I'll link everything in the description. And if you're watching any of my videos, any sounds I'm using, presets, they will all be linked in the description. You can check them out. This is Bermuda, and then the Serum preset is from what is it? Blemish, and the drums is Misery from my Misery drum kit. Okay, so this is Iceman. And this is just gonna kind of mask it, and then we just got this, and I'll just adjust this with you. And usually I'll leave it open so I can adjust it myself. So and that's just fine. I just want it to be like a texture. Okay, so that's all that's doing, is kind of just melting it all together. And then this is on top. And I do want to turn these up a bit. I think they could be a little bit crispy or what. All right, so let's start the drums real quick. And I know we're kind of all over the place, but I think it was E. It was E, D to E. Okay, so we can play around with this a little bit. Let's throw this in. So and then we can pull that up, and then of course adjust the velocity. And of course it's gonna do this. We'll fix that. And then of course, since our chords are longer, it'll just follow this, and you can just kind of play around with it. Maybe we could do like something like that. Let's try that, and then we'll play it with the piano. Okay, I like that. So now we're just gonna add the drums in there. And we'll just kind of do it as we go. So I'm gonna just keep this simple. Like, it's really gonna be easy. And then we'll why this doesn't, well, I guess this is repeating. No, I don't like that there. I'll just let that play. I'm gonna pan one of these opposite ways, and we can also try other things, like if we want to pull it up. Whatever vibe you're going for, you can kind of play with that, but that's pretty much it for the beat. I would probably need to adjust this so it's not crackling and stuff. I'll just turn it off so it doesn't crackle. We can play it one time through, and then we can go ahead and throw this on, and then we can throw this on, turn it down a little bit, and we can just kind of adjust this as we play it. So I'm just gonna click this button right here just so I can click everyone. And then we could also do like a, and I know the 808 is super heavy, but I just like it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much the beat. If you want to take it further, you can, but I just want this to be easy. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.